Thank you so much for joining us for a very special Koolsville episode. We were honored and privileged to sit with world-renowned piercing legend and expert, Kala. Stick around and see what pearls of wisdom he has for us.
Hi, my name is Kala Kaivvi, but people know me as Kala. I'm a professional piercer that has been in the industry now going on about 28 years. I started my career in the early 90s. Originally started here in Vegas. I met this woman by the name of Mari. She used to own Tattoos R Us, one of the most prolific body art studios or tattoo piercing studios here in Vegas. I was introduced to her from a friend of a friend. They were really nice people to me, and that is what started me in the industry. Was totally fascinated about it, coming from my background of being a Polynesian person. So I just started hanging out, was offered an apprenticeship there. Just started from the bottom, just basic stuff, learning how to, make piercing needles, learning how to sterilize stuff, learning the basic piercings. In the about mid-90s to the end of the 90s, I just got island fever, being born and raised on an island. I mean, I missed home. So I just decided I was gonna move back to Hawaii, open up a piercing studio. When I brought up this idea of, hey, I'm gonna open up a piercing only studio, a lot of people were just like, are you kidding me? Like, that's not gonna fly, nothing's gonna work. There was some people doodling in piercings, they were doing, I like to call it briefcase piercings, they were just working out of a briefcase.
Yeah, like a traveling piercer.
Yeah, traveling piercer. I had this vision of what I really wanted to do. A lot of people thought I was crazy. I felt what better way to give back to my people, being a Polynesian person, than going back to the islands and giving them good quality work. 23 years later, it was one of the top piercing studios in Hawaii. My philosophy when I got into it was never in the intent of wanting to make money. It was the whole concept of being so passionate about what I did and respecting the art for what it is. Yeah. Looking at it as an art form and not necessarily a fad,
right.
Or something to do for shock value. The industry has evolved.
What changes have you seen? I mean, you've been in it for almost 3 decades, so I'm sure you've seen a bunch of changes.
Of course, with the introductory of social media, a lot of it has become more mainstream now, a little bit more acceptable.
Okay.
But at the same time, I feel that, and this is just my opinion, when you get farther away from the origin of where the art originated, you tend to lose its true purpose of what it was actually meant to be. Piercings, they started back in Africa.
Yeah, I was doing some reading, like Mesopotamia and the Sumerians were piercing.
And in Ethiopia, a lot of, Mayans and people, in Mexico and stuff like that. The core root of the actual art has been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years.
What advice would you have for somebody like a young professional that wants to get into this industry and be successful?
If you are an artist wanting to get into the industry, I feel like, maybe you should start, learning about the culture first, learning about the art of piercing first. Try to make sure that you educate yourself. For me in general, like, I'm still learning. To me as a professional artist, I mean, you're gonna continue learning,
That's what art is.
And that to me is what makes you a true artist. There are a lot of people that wanna come into the industry, but a lot of them they don't wanna get their feet wet first and actually go through the proper training, I call them Insta famous, or social media famous. And the new generation of people, they don't mean wrong, but they see the abundance of how much the industry has grown. With that being said, it gives them that idea that, you know, like, wow, the industry it's got a lot of wealth, it's got a lot
room
of,
for me.
Yeah, it's got a lot of promising, you know, room for people.
Dude, I honestly can't thank you enough for your time and your insight and just being able to hang out with you. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, if people want to see my work, my Instagram is 808mods_Kala.